A helpless romantic. Down to earth, free-spirited, these descriptions barely begin to explain the phenomenon that is Rae Jepsen. But her simplicity is also what makes her song so appealing to people of all ages and countries. Call Me Maybe not only landed on the #1 spot on both the US Billboard and Canadian Hot 100, but also topped the charts in 19 other countries. The song has been such a colossal hit on the internet, inspiring tens of thousands of parodies. Even our own team from CCTV America did a version of it.
I looked at you as it fell, and now you're in my way. I trade my soul for a wish, pennies and dimes for a kiss. I wasn't looking for this, but now you're in my way. Your stare was holding, ripped jeans, skin was showing, hot night, wind was blowing. Where you think you're going, baby?
You know, it's insane the number of parodies there are on the internet of that song.
Yeah.
And do you ever feel the pressure to have another hit to top that song?
I think there's always pressure just to want to continue making music, but I think I don't know that I'd want something quite as massive as that. It was a life-changing thing in good ways and sometimes in bad ways too.
Has it changed your life in any way?
Yeah, I mean, the best part is that you get to travel the world, you get to kind of pursue a passion and a dream. I think the hard part is you kind of lose touch with like getting a lot of time off for like family and friends and personal life. And I was really happy to kind of sacrifice that for like one big go. But to do that every time, I think would be kind of lonely because you'd miss your family too, you know?
And do you have anyone in particular in mind when you write your songs?
It's different every time. I mean, sometimes I do actually have like one person that I'm pining over or that I'm like heartbroken over, and it's a very much almost like a journal entry to that person. Okay. And then every once in a while, like for a song like I Really Like You, it's much more about just like the feeling that I often get, and I think that we all get when you're at the beginning of something, and it's not quite love yet, but it's more than like you just become ridiculous trying to articulate it. And I think I just trying to capture that energy and that sort of flirtatious nature that I think we all find ourselves in.
In March of 2015, the artist came out with yet another hit song, I Really Like You. While the title still retains the intimacy and flirtatiousness of Call Me Maybe, it's obvious that the helpless romantic has quite matured. According to Jepsen, she chose actor Tom Hanks in this music video to counterbalance the giddy teenage girlish vibe of the song, and for some reason, there's something about Forrest Gump that just grooves with Jepsen and her songs.
You and Tom Hanks, him in that video, what he does in the video is such a departure from what he's, the kind of characters he's used to portraying.
Yeah.
So what do you think the two of you have in common?
I don't know. I think one thing that I admire from him is his sort of, I think that he likes to have fun, and I think he really does enjoy what he does. I think he loves being an actor, and I think he likes kind of stretching the bounds of what people sort of consider him as. And I think I have that desire as well, just sort of not just Call Me Maybe, I'm all these other things, and he's not just this one type of actor. He can be comedic, he can be silly, he can be dry, he can be anything, and he proves that again and again and again. I think my favorite part of Tom Hanks being in the video is that he doesn't go at this perfect, slick lip-syncing sort of performance. He sort of fumbles a couple of the words, and then he does hold on to one with like complete gusto, and it just like wins you over. It's a little bit more real life, a little bit more like old man adorableness lip-syncing. And I don't know, I think even the way that he goes at the dance moves at the end, where him and I both do not know how to dance. And we admitted that first thing when the choreographer arrived. We're like, no skill in this. And I love that he just still does it with such enthusiasm. He's like hopscotching next to Justin Bieber. I'm just like gaping at Tom Hanks. It's just like an adorable kind of moment that was captured, I think.
You don't dance. I would have never guessed.
Well, thank you.
Never in a million years.
No. I sometimes like move in the direction that the rest of the dancers go and fumble my way through it. Hope I blend in.
I guess that's what happens when you're too gifted in one area.
When you're writing, writing music or doing your own personal projects, do you need a space that's really relaxed, or do you want a lot of noises to kind of bombard you and inspire you?
That's an interesting question. I actually think that writing for me doesn't have to be in like a a certain temperature or in a certain type of place. It can kind of be anywhere. I've written ideas on the plane and had to record it in the stall bathroom because I didn't want to forget the idea. Inspiration quite comes to me in the most inconvenient of times, and I just roll with it. And so my relaxness is just more from my own head space, where it's like every once in a while I'll be like, there's so much craziness going on. I just did interviews for all these different countries that I know we're going to go to in the next month. I need to go for a hike by myself. It's more like that.
What's one thing that people don't already know about you?
Well, I think that people know that I am really passionate about the writing of my songs, but I think it's something that I always really am pushing, just because I think in the world of pop music it's pretty unheard of or it's a little bit more rare for the artist to also be one of the main writers. Yeah. And I've even noticed that I'll show up sometimes at sessions and you kind of feel like you're there for decoration, and you kind of have to really prove no, actually I've come kind of armed with ideas and I have a vision for this, and I'd hope that you get behind it versus kind of sit there quietly while they write the whole thing for you. So if there's one thing I'm campaigning, it's just for other women who are interested in writing to feel like this is not a genre of music where you have to just hide behind the scenes and let other people take over. You can have a voice and be a writer just as much.
Great. Thank you very much, Rae Jepsen.
Thank you so much.